What's good, Commanders fans? Jayden Daniels to DC. He is the pick. The Civil War is finally over, man. The top golf gate, the emoji gate, finally put that past us and move on with Jayden Daniels, man. Dan Quinn or Adam Peters reported by ESPN said he can steal your soul on 3rd and long, and I love it. I love his dual threat ability, that elite athleticism. The way he can scramble. It could be 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, like Dan Quinn or Adam Peters said, and he can scamper up the field for 75 yards, 50 yards. We saw it against Florida. We saw it against Bama. We saw it against top SEC schools, and this guy put his team on his back. I mean, he had great receivers, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, guys like that, but he throws a very catchable ball, and I love his consistent throwing motion. The Patriots took Drake May, so I'm happy the Giants did not trade up and take Drake May, because that would have been crazy if those guys would have played each other in the NFC East. But he's a guy, Jayden Daniels looked very happy. And the thing is, everybody could question him, do you want to play with Antonio Pierce? Do you want to play with the Vikings and stuff like that? Everybody's trying to read his body language and read between the lines, and all the reports coming about him want to play elsewhere and stuff like that. Everybody's saying that he was dry whenever he answered questions about the Commanders and stuff like that. To me, he looked like a very happy guy. He looked like a very excited guy. He yelled. He said, "Woo!" Ric Flair type of. He was like, "Woo!" My voice a little bit, so I can't do the high voice right now like Ric Flair. But he looked like a guy that wanted to be here. Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, they only want guys that obviously want to be here. He looks like he got a guy that wants to be here. And I can't wait to see what Cliff Kingsbury does for him, because if you want to get the best out of Jayden Daniels, you have to use his elite athleticism. The way he can scramble, get out the pocket, make something shake, make something happen, break guys in. You see the Alabama game where he went outside. One guy literally just felt like it was a basketball crossover move, and his ankles were broken. So you have to use Jayden Daniels to the best of his ability. Slot fades. Talk about him throwing the football. It's the same motion. It's a consistent motion. His mechanics are very consistent. That is one of the strengths of Jayden Daniels. Every pass is the same. It's nothing different. It's the same. Malik Neighbors slot fades over and over and again. He was great at that against Ole Miss. His deep ball, the touch, the accuracy of his deep ball. He throws a very catchable football. Even on the run, on the move, he throws a very catchable football. Just throwing up some stats. Catchable ball rate on throws, 15-plus air yards without pressure. Simply, are they accurate downfield? Jayden Daniels was first with 86% on deep passes down the field. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors throwing the ball. Imagine him throwing the ball to Terry McLaurin down the field. Imagine him throwing the ball down the field to Jahan Dotson in stride. I can just see it now. Hitting Zach Ertz down the field. Hitting possibly Jatavion Sanders down the field. And then his broken playability, passes and scrambles here. His EPA added on these playmaker reps. He's plus 0.63 on 154 reps. That led all top quarterbacks. And QBR was a 90 QBR in the pocket as well. So he's not just a runner, he's a dual threat quarterback. So RPO, zone reads, man, he's going to put a lot of pressure on the defense. And I knew when Dan Quinn said game changer, the radio station, they asked him about all the quarterbacks. I'm not just saying I'm based it on that, but when he did say game changer, that literally stood out to me, because he is a game changer. He's a guy that can change the game with his legs, change the game with his arm. Like I keep saying, 3rd and 10. You think you have him wrapped up, but he's running to the outside. He scampers up the field for 75 yards for a touchdown, or a 55-yard touchdown. Only thing he does need to work on, I'm not going to say he's not a one-read quarterback, but he does rely on his legs a little too much sometimes, where it's like one read and go, or it might be one read, two read, and then he's just ready to go, because he knows he was faster than everybody else on the field. The NFL is going to be a little bit different. Of course, the frame, when people hit him, it does look like the coins come out like a video game, like the cartoons, the ragdoll stuff. When he got picked up by Georgia and the guys just holding him up, and then the Ole Miss game, the Alabama game, he just runs into the middle and they just basically hit sticking backwards and he's jolted back. There's a lot of plays like that where it does look like a rag doll. So he's got to learn how to slide. He's solid at sliding. In the injury history, he doesn't miss games. He doesn't miss a lot of games. So you look consistently, he's played in a lot of games. So that's a good thing. Arizona State played in a lot of games. LSU played in a lot of games. Fifth-year senior. So it's not like he misses a lot of games, but of course the NFL is a different animal. It's certainly a different animal out there. So broke a lot of records. He was the first quarterback in one game to throw for, 300 yards and run for 200 yards in one game. Just insane video game type numbers. 350 to pass for 350 plus yards and rush for 200 plus yards in the same game. That was against Florida. Only player in FBS history with 12,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards. as well. His father did play defensive back at Washington and Iowa State as well. So just an exciting pick, man. The city needs it. We need the excitement. He's electric, man. He is electric. So, of course, there are the concerns. The whole pressure to sack rate kind of thing, that is somewhat of a concern. But I do think he's elusiveness. He has the elusiveness to make something happen in the pocket and make guys miss and throw on a run. Of course, we've seen that a lot. 18% scramble rate. Take a sack, that percentage was 23%. Stand and deliver was 36%. That's like a metric that I've seen go around social media a lot. But he doesn't turn the ball over. Like he does not turn the ball over at all. Turnover worthy plays, he was one of the best at that. 1,000 rushing yards, 40 passes, 40 passing touchdowns, 4 picks, 72% completion percentage last year, 3,812 passing yards last year, won the Heisman. 1,000 yards on the ground, which is just insane numbers. But will it translate to the NFL? I definitely think it will. Led LSU's offense to 46 points per game. Just was out there and made everybody better, man. Made everybody better. So I'm excited, man. And the thing is, you got a game planning for him is going to be very difficult. He's going to make B-Rob better. He's going to make Eckler better. Chris Rodriguez, that running game is going to be humming, man. Just kind of like comparing. I know people don't like when he's compared to RG3 just because of that frame. But you imagine some of the things that RG3 was doing. When RG3 was cooking and Alfred Morris and those guys, that run game was humming. And I can certainly see that with B-Rob because you have to account for Jayden Daniels as a runner because he's a guy that can hurt you as a runner. So you have to account for him. You got to have to account for B-Rob as a runner, Eckler as a runner, all those guys out there as runners, man. So and you see him put up big numbers against Alabama and some of the best defenses in the league. So I think this is a good pick. I think it's a solid pick. I was fine with either one between him or Drake May. I was fine, but I just felt like Jayden Daniels would be ready day one because it's going to be hard to game plan for him, and he has his legs where if he's in trouble, he can make something happen. He can make something shake. And his mechanics are more consistent. So that's why I was like, okay, I wanted Jayden Daniels because he's just more electric. I just feel like the ceiling's higher and the electricity and the way you can game plan with Jayden Daniels is just better. It's just better. So, I have a lot of confidence in Jayden Daniels, man. I think he's going to be a great player. Humble guy. He said he doesn't talk much, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 73.9% on target throw rate against the blitz, which was second. 86th percentile in yards per attempt, 91st percentile in touchdown to interception rate, 80th percentile in completion rate, 68.3% on target rate, throw rate, 10 plus yards down the field, which was first among quarterbacks, FBS quarterbacks. So I mean, you look at the numbers, you look at the stats. I mean, he was lighting it up, and he said it would be a blessing wherever he plays. The whole Top Golf thing, the whole emoji gate, the PR lady had to come out and clean things up. That's all behind us now, guys. It's all behind us now. Look forward and look at his body language now. If you want to judge his body language now, look at the way he came out on stage. Had the hat on with the TI to the side. He was excited, smiling ear to ear. Ric Flair, woo, excited, So he was cool, calm, and collected in interviews. If I were him, like I said, I would have let the agent go. I would have moved on. Of course, some of the people in his camp, he's got a lot of things going on there. And then, his mom is very passionate. She's kind of like a Tasha Mack from the game kind of thing. She was very vocal at the games, and a lot of people talk about her at Arizona State and at LSU. So we'll see how that goes too. But I just think it will be nothing but positive things for Jayden Daniels, man. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. He's going to be electric. You can get your Jayden Daniels jerseys now. And I already saw some people already pre-ordered the Jayden Daniels jerseys. One guy had a Jayden Daniels jersey. It was number 5. Tress Way's number 5. So we're going to see what number he wears here. I guess he can wear number 10 or something like that. We'll see if he wears number 10. Of course, the RG3 vibes and stuff like that. But we'll see what number he wears. Mariota's got 0. So I wouldn't have minded if he was number 0. That would have been pretty cool to see him as number 0. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people called it. Albert Breer called it. John Keim called it. Outside of Top Golf. A lot of the national media pundits were saying that Jayden Daniels was going to be the pick, and he ended up being the pick. So I'm happy it's over, that we can move on. Let's build around him. Let's get a left tackle. Let's get another wide receiver in the draft. Some people talk about trading for Brandon Ayuk. I don't see that happening as Arizona State teammate. Maybe you can get Ricky Pearsall in the 3rd round. That's a guy that I like, even though he's a smaller receiver, a slot guy, kind of redundant to Jahan Dotson. But those are the kind of moves I'm looking for. Not tonight. the left tackle tonight for sure. But tomorrow night, day 2, somebody like Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton, get him another wide receiver. But we definitely need a tackle for sure, a left tackle. We need a stud, man. We need a guy there for sure to protect his blind side. And we got to shore that up. And another tight end. Let's get him another tight end. Let's get him another weapon out there for sure. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I might get it. I don't get jerseys, but I might get like a Jayden Daniels t-shirt or something like that. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think about this pick. I think it's a great pick, man. I'm excited for the future and to see what happens with this guy because he is electric. He's going to put a lot of fans in the seats, man. He's going to make a lot of things happen, make a lot of things shake, man. He's going to make a lot of people miss and get the ball downfield. The biggest thing is getting the ball to Terry McLaurin. Can he drop it in the bucket to Terry? Can he get the ball to Jahan Dotson? Throwing the ball over the middle of the field. You know, a lot of people say he can't do that, but that is something I have seen him do. 22% of his throws were over the middle of the field, but he was getting it done on the outside with a lot of slot fades and getting it done. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hell, Commanders. Peace.